In this week's episode 47 of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hondon Valley Homes, we're going to look at driving here in Spain. This is in response to several emails from customers asking for an episode of 2 Minute Tuesday to be about driving. So buckle up and welcome to this week's episode. Now, the first question we have is, what side of the road do we drive on here in Spain? Now, unless you're from the UK, Australia or New Zealand or maybe a few other outposts, you need to remember that we drive on the right-hand side of the road in Spain and that the driver sits on the left-hand side of the car. Now, if you're worried about driving on the right-hand side, you should perhaps rent an automatic car if you're going to rent a car, as it's one less thing to worry about. However, trust me, the roads here are surprisingly quiet, and if you take your time, in a short time, you'll have no problem at all. The question now is about the roads. What are the roads like? Well, the roads in general, especially in the Costa Blanca South, they're smooth, they're open, they're free of traffic. We don't have the terrible pothole problem that they seem to be having back in the UK at the moment. The motorways have far less traffic unless you're around a big city, and the rush hour is less problematic as the Spanish business day is spread from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. and there tends to be less of a school run on Spanish roads. Now the next question is, can you drive in Spain on a foreign driving licence? And the answer is yes. If you're from the EU, no problem. If you're not, you may need an international driver's permit. Can you drive barefoot or with flip-flops? Well, the answer really is no. As tempting as it may be if you're on your way back from the beach, but if you're stopped by the police or involved in an accident, it could be a problem. Road signs, standard EU approved signage in Spain, so you should be comfortingly familiar. Remember, however, that the speeds and distances are in kilometres an hour and not miles, and this leads me on to speed limits. Motorways are about 120, roads 80 to 90, urban 30 to 50. Remember, all speeds are in kilometres per hour. Mobile phones, hands-free only, same as it would be in the UK. Don't bother otherwise. You wear driving glasses. Well, if you wear driving glasses, you need to wear them while you're driving. You should also keep a spare pair in the car as well, in case you're stopped by the police. Big one now, drink driving. Don't risk it. Simple. The limit is 0.5 milligrams. In the UK, it's 0.8. It's safer not to have a drink. Don't take the risk. Again, drink driving leads on to the police. The police in Spain, there's no wiggle room. If the Spanish police say you're speeding, you're speeding. And there's very little chance of receiving a warning. Always be polite, provide them with all the documents that they've requested, and you should be okay. And the final point, always worth remembering, is that you need to have fluorescent safety vests for each occupant that's in the car and warning triangles for the front and the rear in the event of a breakdown. Now, the web is full of great information about the driving laws, and it should be updated recently. There's a great website run by the Guardia Civil called N332, and the address should be on the screen at the moment, and I'll also pop it in the description below. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this week's edition of 2 Minute Tuesday. Please feel free to subscribe if you wish to be kept up to date. If you've got any questions, please feel free to let me know. The information should be on the screen now. Failing that, we look forward to seeing you next week when we'll have something hopefully interesting to talk to you about. Adios.